Hello, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and this is episode 97 of my series in which I will try to collect 1 billion iron ingots. In today's episode, I am going to be focusing on building yet another way to process iron ore, and that is actually through pulverizing using tectonic petroleum. And so let's take a look at the mechanic here. Tectonic petroleum, if you pump it into a pulverizer with the tectonic initiator upgrade or augment, you will actually get 3 pulverized iron versus the 2 you would normally get. And if we can just look here, normally you would get 2. If you use the tectonic petroleum, you actually get 3. So that's what we're going to be aiming for this episode. And how exactly do we get tectonic petroleum is the next question. First, you need petroleum dust. And to get that, there are several different methods you can use, or at least a couple different methods you can use. First is a crafting recipes like this: clay, obsidian dust, or pulverized obsidian, basalt powder, and redstone. Now we have a few problems here, as basalt powder requires basalt rods, or pulverized obsidian and redstone, destabilized redstone I should say. And I don't exactly have a huge supply of pulverized obsidian. There are several ways I could go about doing this. I could make obsidian and then pulverize it, and I mean that wouldn't be super difficult to do, but I actually have a better way to do this. To get petroleum dust, another way you can do that is through bees. And between episodes, I have actually bred up some of these rockin' bees because there wasn't a whole lot of work to be done, because I had a lot of these bees already done, like Ghastly and Hateful. I was already that far. So I decided to go ahead and breed these guys up, and I have several of them ready. Now let's grab a bunch of them, because I already also have a place for them to go, and that is a spot I've actually used before. It's in this basement right here. And what I have done is I have cleared out all of these industrial apiaries. They were housing pyro queens and princesses and drones, but now they will be housing the rockin' variety of bees. So let's go ahead and throw these in here, and I'm just gonna fill up this 24 right here for the time being. Currently I am producing more of these guys. I don't have very more than 24. I think I had like 32 when we checked a second ago. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill up this bank, and then we're going to set up the rest of this stuff. And in between episodes, I can just fill up the rest of these apiaries, because that's not really a big deal. So I need 3 more here. Yeah, I only have 10 left, but that's completely fine. Like I said, I'm producing these right now. So what I need to know is if these are actually working. So let's take a look here at how much petroleum dust I have. Okay, so I have 2555, and I actually have 1 already going, so now I should have 25. So that number should uptick significantly through this episode as we go. And so let's focus on the rest of this build, and not really the bees right now. So I have an area up here for the actual processing itself, and that will be this floor of the ore processing building. First of all, we need to take the petroleum dust, and we need to put it in a magma crucible to get the tectonic petroleum that we'll need. So let's get some magma crucibles. I have 11 right here of the resonant variety, so let's get those. And then let's get export bus, as well as some of these acceleration cards. I only need 4 here. And then some sort of storage, so let's go with modular storage. And a tier, we don't need that. You know what, let's actually not do that at all. Let's use a storage bus. I feel like this would be a better way to do this. A storage bus with a black hole unit. And then we can have, whoops, did not mean to do that. And then we can grab our petroleum, and we'll actually just store it up here. And I grabbed a black hole tank rather than a black hole unit, so I need to Actually, I need that tank anyways, but yeah. So let's get that back. I will need a black hole tank. I will need a black hole unit. That's what I was looking for there. And let's grab some flux duct. And let's also grab some item duct. And we don't... Let's go ahead and grab both versions because I'm not sure which one I'm going to go ahead and use yet. So I think we're going to set up the magma crucibles up here at the front of the building. So let's go ahead and just plop those down real fast. So if we were to do 4, it would be right here. 6, 8. Let's just do 10 for right now. I think that should be all right. And then these all have the auxiliary reception coils already, so that is good. And on one side we can have the items, or where the petroleum dust will be stored. And so let's do that. And we can I think the best way to do this would be over here. Let's set this to plus 1000 with petroleum dust. So that's cool. And then the tank can go over here. And that's cool. We're also going to need some fluid duct here. And we're going to need plenty of this. So let's just go ahead and take all we have right now. In fact, let's go ahead and make some more. Cool, that's fantastic. I already have like all the stuff I need. So now we need to set up our item flow and our liquid flow. So I think the best way to do this would be, since I already have the outputs to the top, let's just go ahead and use that. It'll output and everything should flow into the black hole tank over here, which is fantastic. The inputs will need to be on the bottom, so I need to change that real fast on all of these. And let's see, there. Oh my goodness. I'm seeing some lag. Or some waiting. Okay, so I will need the energized... shoot, and these things use a lot of power. So I'm going to have to be a little bit creative on how I get my power. Hopefully not too creative here. So what I need to do now is I need to dig out a nice little hole here, so I can access underneath these guys. Okay, that should be fantastic. And then I need this signalum plated item duct here. And let's see, what's a good way? Okay, so how much can this do? 4,000 RF per tick. Divided by 750, that would be like 5 machines max. So I think I'm going to need 2 flux duct attachments here, and you'll see what I mean in a second. So we have our flux duct already. I'm going to need a servo real fast. And let's not activate this quite yet. What I want to do is I want to actually hook it up to my applied energistic system. So right now, let's look at how much petroleum we have. We are definitely getting a bunch of petroleum at this point, so our newbies are working, so that's fantastic. Let's get our covered cable here, and let's just say make 100. And then that should be plenty. We can just run this across the top, like so. Okay, and I checked beforehand. I actually could have run it straight down, but I'm going to run it over here just for the sake of making it symmetrical, because I'm going to have the fluid duct coming up from over here. So I think it'll look better if I place it there instead of on top. Whoops. Okay, so that should be good. We should be seeing some petroleum dust coming into here at some point. Device missing channel. You'll pick up your channel soon. So let's turn this guy on. always on. Should see this start working. We'll get some petroleum. It should instantly flow over here, which is happening, so that's good. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. And we don't need that as well. So now we need to get power into these guys because currently they don't have any power connections. And let's take a look at what our options might be for that. I think what we might be able to do here is run some. I think I'm going to run flux duct just through the floor here and then use covers to cover it up. Actually, that's not going to work super fantastic either. Okay, new plan. I'm going to run it underneath because I'm going to need underneath the pulverizers for item insertion or output or something like that. I do know I will need that space, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run the flux duct something like this. And it won't look super great, but that's fine. I made things that look worse, to be honest, so whatever. And then we'll connect it up there. And I also want to connect it up over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of some of these connections. I think I might even get rid of like all of them except for the end two. Because by my math, they should all have enough power if each one of these can do 4,000 RF per tick. What's 750 times 5? Yeah, so it'd be like 3850 or something like that. So we should have enough power for all these guys. Let's get... Oh, no, it's petroleum. Let's go ahead and throw a bunch of this petroleum in here. Okay, cool. Let's grab some stone as well. I don't think I'll need that much fluid duct. And let's grab some covers as well. Unfortunately, they're proving elusive right now. So let's go ahead and cover this up for the time being. And then I need to grab some pulverizers and stuff. So let's go ahead and do that. Pulverizers. So we have a bunch made. I'm not exactly sure how many I'm going to need. Let's just grab a bunch. I also want to grab some modular storage here. Let's grab one with a tier 3 upgrade. I shouldn't need a tier 3, but whatever. We will need an import bus with 4 of these guys to speed it up. We will need conversion kits. Not sure how many. Let's just get a stack for right now. We're going to need some augments. We will need a stack of these and 3 stacks of these if we were to place all of the pulverizers down. So let's figure out exactly how we're going to lay this out. I think a good way to do this might be a similar fashion to this right here. Because just like these guys, I think we'll be using 3 sides here. We'll be using the bottom, the top, and the back. So I think, yeah, I think that's a pretty good setup there. And let's go up. Let's get started on placing down these pulverizers. And how we're going to do this is the back row will be facing away like so. Whoops. And then we'll have a row like this. And for right now, I think I'm only going to make 2 of these rows, or 2 of these banks essentially. So we'll have this one and then 1 more row. And that's actually going to be more than 64 pulverizers. So I need to grab some more pulverizers here. I'm also going to need more of my augments. So let's grab those. Yeah, I think that'll be enough. We'll need some more conversion kits as well. Okay, so how I'm going to set this up is in the back, we're going to have an input for the tectonic petroleum. On the bottom, we're going to have, and this can kind of go either way. In the bottom, we're going to have an input for our items, and then on the top is going to be an output. And then they will all be, they will all have a resonant conversion kit attached to them. And then they will have one tectonic initiator up or augment and 3 of the auxiliary reception coil augments. And so that's how all of these pulverizers are going to be set up. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of them off camera, and then I'm going to be right back. So now I have all of my pulverizers set up and configured correctly. We need to get everything in and out. So the first thing we're going to do is we need to get the tectonic petroleum that we have right here into all of these pulverizers. And for that, we're going to need a servo, and we're actually going to need some more servos. So let's just go ahead and grab a bunch of those guys. What we're going to do here is we're going to not have this connected. And then this will go across the ceiling, or what will be the ceiling, like so. And let's go ahead and just throw the servo on real fast. Set it to always active, and then that should be cool. And since we have inputs in the back and the bottom, we can use either. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the back of these guys. So here will be one. Oh my goodness. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. And then we just need to run this over in each direction. And so now all of these pulverizers should be connected up and should be getting some tectonic petroleum. And then I need to do the same over here. And there's a chance I'm going to be a couple of these guys. I don't think I will be. I think I'm going to have just enough. Yes. Okay, so let's get rid of those since we are done with those. We should see some of these guys have some tectonic petroleum, which is fantastic. And the next thing we need to do is we need to set up some item inputs. Or outputs. It doesn't really matter either way. Let's go ahead and get here and here. Yeah, we're not going to run up that far. For right now, I think let's get another modular storage because we need inputs and outputs here, and I only have one. Let's grab a second one of each. Okay, so if we add more lines, which we very well could in the future, or I could at some point, so it'll be here and here. So let's go ahead and set this up against this wall. Okay, so one of them is going to be input, one of it's going to be output. This can be the input here, and let's get rid of that. Yes, this will be the input. So I need another bus here. I need an export bus. So let's grab one of those. Let's grab some more cards for it. And then I need iron ore. And as we see here, I have 5.1 million iron ore. So we've got plenty of iron ore laying around that needs processed. So that's kind of the purpose of setting up more processing here. So that should be good. We should be seeing some iron in there. And then let's run this. You know what? Let's elbow this real fast. So let's get a fluid duct. Actually, duh, we don't need a fluid duct. I'm a moron. We just use this one. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these guys. And then I actually need some more. That should be enough. And then we're just gonna kind of run this around the top here. And then this can just come down right here. And this will be the import bus for the system. So now we need to start setting up how the items get in and out. We have our two modular storage systems set up, so let's go ahead and figure out how we're going to do this. It might have been better had I... Yeah, I think we're going to change this real fast. Just a little bit. Let's spin this around. Maybe. This is super, like, super touchy. Okay, that is fine. I'm going to go ahead and set up this over here. So that's import. I don't need to do anything with that. Also going to rotate this guy around. And now we can set this one up. Oh, I didn't put the speed upgrades back. Okay, so this will be going underneath. So what we can do is run it like so. That's gonna pose a slight problem here. Oh well, we can fix it. So what do we have going on down here? What I'm gonna need to do is, I think I'm gonna run power from the bottom side. So how we're gonna do this is, I'm gonna have to be careful here because I'm gonna have to disconnect all of these stupid item ducts here. Actually, it might be beneficial for me to just go underneath and lay them down here, or from down here. And that's because that way I can just go ahead and do this. Okay. That's cool, and then running them across should be alright. And I also want to run some power across the room from over here to connect it up to my item duct. My signalum plated item duct that I'm going to be laying. Okay, so how this is going to work. And I think it'll be easiest if we use this instead. So we got 1 by 1. Let's let her eat. This thing is just so fast. It's really nice. And then one more. There we go. So I think we're going to need some more of this. So let's go ahead and grab some more signalum plated item duct. That should be a good amount. And then we just have to lay it like so. Now hopefully I have enough power for all of this. I kind of think I do, but I'm not 100% sure because I haven't really done the math. But we're just going to hope it is. So I just need to do 3 more lines here. 1 more. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear out holes here. I'm going to place my signalum plated impulse item duct, and then I'm going to be right back for the next phase of this build. Okay, so I have all of the signalum plated impulse item duct laid under these guys, so they should all have some power. And let's see. Some of these accidentally got some items into them, but it looks, actually, just looks like the one, and that it should be just fine. So what we need to do is we need to hook these pulverizers up to this right here. So this is the input. We need so we need a servo right here. And hopefully one servo will do it. We need to have this round robin always on. And so once we get this kicked into gear, we should start to see some items float in. Maybe? Okay, so yes. Fantastic. And let's see. That's probably completely empty, but that's fine. And so we'll just have to cover that up at some other time. So what we can go ahead and do now is get regular impulse item duct and lay it on top of all these guys. And this will be our output. And because these automatically output to the top, we should not have any issue. We won't need any servos or anything. So that's pretty fantastic. I think I'm going to need some more item duct here, or impulse item duct, but that is fine. Yes. Okay, so that's all connected. How should we set this up? I think let's just take the lazy route here and do this. Because theoretically there will be a line here and here in the future, so that should be fine. So our items should start coming into here. And we should start seeing things in here. Cool. We see our pulverized iron, and if I remember right, the pulverized iron should be sent to here. So then that pulverized iron will be smelted using redstone furnaces, and that should be fantastic. That should be more iron ore. So I'm not gonna go ahead and cover all of this crap up. I'm gonna, well, I will in between episodes, but for right now I think this is a good wrapping up point. So in today's episode I built this floor on this building, which is yet another way to process iron ore. It should help me with my 5.1 million iron ore backlog. As we see right here, it's actually gone down just a shade since the beginning of the episode, which is pretty fantastic. And I think that's pretty much all we did this episode. As of right now, I have 728 million iron ingots, which is pretty fantastic mark. Signing off, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.